Can you tell me from whom the top message came from and what, if anything, it said?
It shows it came from the owner's device to the phone number ending in 7558. And did you want me to read the actual message?
The content
itself?
of the message,
Okay.
if you would.
It says, if you get a iPhone and you have a Android, you can switch your stuff over. I just figured it out if you ever upgrade.
Did that same message that's captured there in green also, or that same sender also send the next message that's captured in green?
Yes.
And does that one indicate anything was actually sent as far as content as well?
As far as the message goes, it says like your pictures and stuff.
Okay. And was there any response or message back to this device captured in this chat?
Yeah, it shows that the message received was about a minute later. And it just says, switch and bring your hard-headed self home.
That message, those messages that we just looked at, 76B8, were those and UTC time consistent with the device being or sending these messages at 8:39 p.m. on June 26th?
Yeah, so this report or what you're viewing here has been converted to Eastern Standard Time. So the times would reflect Eastern Standard Time, and that's what the -4 means.
And lastly, for this device, from state 76B4, is this another one of those messages where you're able to tell us whether it was between devices with a number or on some kind of social media account?
This is from devices with phone numbers.
What is the timestamp that is related to the first message that's sent?
It is 8:42 p.m. and it's in Eastern Standard Time.
And was there a response from someone to this device?
Yes.
And what was that?
How do I know this is you?
Can you tell us what we're looking at here on page 2 of that same exhibit and how it differs from the other chats?
This is just obviously a picture message that was sent as an attachment in the message.
And again, are you able to, when you see something that size, look at a larger depiction of that?
Yes.
Is that what was reflected there?
Yes.
And was the timestamp able to be deciphered from the information included on that message?
Yes.
And when was that message sent from this owner's device?
9:17 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time.
In addition to the Celebrite for Red 03, did you have an opportunity to review an Axiom extraction as well? That was a return from iCloud.
Yes.
I'm showing you 75B. Can you talk to us a little bit about what it is that we are seeing in the overview report in 75B?
Yes, this is the overview is all the individual files that comes back from Apple, and then they're parsed out by, in this case, Axiom.
So did the extractions that come from, or the returns that come from iCloud, when you pop them into Axiom, do they look a little bit different visually than the Celebrite reports that we just looked at?
Yes, the individual company decides how they want to display the information when they parse it.
What, if anything, are you able to tell me about each of these 3 files? Can you view them together when you actually use this software?
Yes.
And do you have the same option to look at tabs or categories within the information when you use it?
Yes.
I'm publishing state 75C. Now, how is it that you, from an axiom extraction or report, are able to determine where or what category the information came from?
They would have the same file path at the end. It would show you exactly where it pulled from. Maybe not necessarily in this PDF or printed version of it, but on the tool itself, it would let you.
Are you able, from the actual report that gets extracted, to decipher some information about its originating location?
Yes.
What is TextNow Chat?
TextNow is a voice over IP application that allows you to send text messages and phone calls, receive phone calls, basically over the internet. So as long as you have cellular data or hooked up to Wi-Fi, you can download the application and basically request a phone number and then make phone calls and text messages using the application instead of the native phone number assigned to that phone.
Is that different from sending a text message or a call from your device?
It would still be from the device, but through an application.
So you would use the phone, but you'd be using an app?
Yes.
Now, if I called you in that app, would my phone number to you be the same as my phone number that AT&T gave me if I select a number?
It'd be whatever phone number that TextNow provided to you.
But it is not the same as an extraction, for example, from the instant messages from a device or the iMessages?
No.
Was there in State 75C1 an extraction report from the axiom for this device?
Yes.
And is this device the Alicia.Andrews03@yahoo.com?
This is not a device, but a
Return from
return.
iCloud, so
Yes.
data from them.
Yes.
And would that have been from that Alicia Andrews 03@yahoo?
Yes.
All right. Now, what is it that we're looking at?
This is just text messages or messages that the Axiom tool has pulled from that iCloud extraction.
Is it possible that this isn't the entirety of all of the messages that go back and forth?
Yes.
Are you able to select some messages by date or timestamps, anything like that?
Yeah, you can filter within the tool to only certain messages, and then sometimes only certain messages are backed up. So you don't always get the full conversation, or you can filter it down to just portions yourself.
And coming from this return from the email for Alicia Andrews 03, what does the information that's provided in these chat bubbles tell us?
It just tells me that this message was sent to someone at that date and time.
And are you able to tell me anything about where the device came from? I mean, where the information came from? Was this message sent from this device, this report, to another person?
Yes, I can't tell right now, but it looks like it might possibly be a contact that says me, or I'm not sure if that's referring to the individual device. I've never seen me on a report before, so it might be a contact saved as me, but I'm not sure.
Your Honor, may I have one moment?
Yes.
Mr. Deputy Martinez? Should I turn it off? Are you able to tell me about the dates that this message was sent?
Yes, it shows that it was 6/17/2024 at 11:44 and 11:47 a.m.
Now, as we move through this exhibit, all of these exhibits would have come from the data from the iCloud return that you received for the Alicia Andrews 03@yahoo account. Is that correct?
Yes.
In 75C4, is this image that's being depicted here from page 4 different in some way than you would see for a traditional image? Like if it was a photograph?
This image that we see here isn't actually an image. It's a video file, but the Axiom tool, so in my investigations, we go through hundreds, thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of videos. So instead of having to watch each individual video as you go through the tool, Axiom will display what's a preview of the video by giving you 8 frames from the video to give you a general idea what might be in that video. So you don't have to necessarily watch every single video just to find out what's in it. It'll give you a preview, which is what Axiom has done here, and then you could go watch the video itself. So in this case, we're looking at a preview that was generated by Axiom of the actual video file.
Are you able to actually see the full video or even grab some of the frames from the video when you're pulling an extraction report?
Yes.
And is that what's indicated here from that same video?
Correct.
Just a screenshot, basically, if we're using layman's terms.
Yes, and I think even when you go back to the still frames where there was the 8 different frames from that video, you can see that it's very similar.
Are you able to tell me anything about the date and time that this video was preserved from the data or file information here?
It just shows the last modified and then more importantly the EXIF created, and how we mentioned earlier that EXIF data is more data about the file itself versus a lot of times when you see created, access, and modified, that refers to that file being in a specific place at that date and time. So if you put a folder on your computer and you make a copy of that folder and put it somewhere else on your computer, those created date and times will be different because it's whenever you copied and pasted it. But the EXIF is specific to when that video file itself was created. So typically, forensically, that's the one we try to focus on if it's available, and in this instance it is, which is 6/22/24 at 5:26 p.m.
And are you able to say that that is also Eastern Standard Time based on the UTC information also provided?
Yes.
Publishing 75C5 from the same iCloud return. Is this an actual either screenshot or an image on the device different from what we've just seen reflected as a video?
Yes.
Is there a time reflected in the screenshot itself?
Yes, 2:58.
And is there data associated with the screenshot itself?
Yes.
On this particular screenshot, this one has a PNG label. How is that different from what we saw before?
PNG is often associated with screenshots when it comes to Apple devices. So if you do a screenshot on an Apple device, it'll save it as a PNG versus the HEIC file.
The EXIF data for this one is depicted down here. Is that the same EXIF data for date and time that we would be looking at?
Yes.
And are you able to tell me what the EXIF data tells us about this particular screenshot?
It shows the original date and time to be 6/23 at 2:58 p.m. Or I'm sorry, yeah, p.m.
PM?
I'm sorry, no. So 2:58. I was looking at the top. So 2:58. There is no p.m. or a.m. associated with it.
Are you able to see that? Record 1 of 75C6.
Yes.
All right. And do you know, or can you tell me what this is?
It's a picture, but I don't know who it is or where it came from.
Are you familiar with the photo application in an iPhone or Samsung device?
Yes.
And do you have the options, which we could see at the bottom right here, of taking a photo or selecting a photo option?
I believe that's just the selfie cam. I'm not sure if that's taking a photo or selecting a photo.
To flip the camera on
Yeah.
the photo app.
Yes.
But is this, so if I clicked on or took my phone and clicked on the little camera that's on the home screen, I can open that to access the camera?
Yes.
And is that what we're looking at here, a camera access from one of these devices, or a device of some kind?
It appears to be consistent with taking a photo with a device, but I'm not sure what application it's being used from.
While you are utilizing your phone's camera, whether it's front-facing or rear-facing, are you still able to take a screenshot?
Yes.
What information, if any, did this particular item provide to us regarding the date of the original?
The original date showing 6/23 at 4:10. It doesn't show an AM or PM.
Are you able to tell us about the ability to have military time or standard time? Tell us the difference between those two things.
You can select military or standard on your phone, how it's displayed. And basically that being a military time is from 0000 all the way up to 2400 or 2359. So basically there is no AM or PM with military time.
Are you able to tell us anything about this return from iCloud as it relates to information from Instagram?
Just that, is this from, we're still talking about the iCloud return?
Yes, the same return from alicia.andrews03@yahoo.com.
Yeah, so again, Axiom being the tool that we used in this one, it identified different, I don't think where it came, let's see where it came from, different accounts associated with, it looks like Instagram.
Does Axiom allow for information regarding followers and following when it gives you a return from Instagram or information from Instagram?
I cannot tell if these are follows or following, but it's obviously information that's backed up to Apple.
When you make a full download as it relates to the Instagram profiles, followers or following, are you able to review the file path and the file information to assess whether there's following, followers, followed by? Those categories that Axiom gives you.
Yeah, so in this scenario, yes, you can see what Axiom has parsed out, and it shows that the account associated with that Apple account, that cloud account, there are artifacts associated with Instagram showing that that account is following that username at the top. And you can see where it says following, yes, but they're not being followed back by that same account.
So following, yes.
Yes,
The username account, Yungeen Ace.
yes,
Followed by, no.
correct.
There are 3 of these records. Is the difference between having record 1, record 2, and record 3, which indicate the same, each of the iCloud returns that we saw in the beginning here when we were looking at the backup evidence?
I'm not
When we
sure.
looked at the first page, let me go back.
I'm not sure what the differences between the 3 records are. That would be Axiom parsed it out, whether that information is in 3 different locations or it's just repeating information that's the same information in 3 different locations.
If the path matches source information from this file, the second file, and this third file from page 3 of the evidence overview, does that lead you to believe that they are, in reviewing the contents of each of these zips, representative of that following for each of the returns from each one of those files?
So it would be more from the source, and I can see that the source looks, and there's a lot of numbers in there to tell you exactly the same, but it looks like the source might be a little bit different, and that's why you have 3 records.
Okay, and then when you see the evidence number or information, is that referring to the file that is provided from iCloud?
Yes. but in there are multiple different folders, and you see that where it says source here, being the original one, and then there's that number, the 1295723, and then there's folder and subfolder and subfolder. So every line that you see is another folder within that folder. So every slash mark.
In 75C8, do we have the same type of following report or information that was pulled from Axiom? Page 4 of that exhibit for username Julio Foolio.
Correct.
And do we still have or also have those columns regarding following and is followed by?
Yes.
As it relates to this particular account, what was the account following?
The device account was following the Julio Foolio, but Julio Foolio's account was not following back the user's device or user's account.
Are you also able to, as we could see from the device report and the Cellbrite data, or the reports that we had, are you also able to select photographs that you can pull reports for?
Yes.
In looking at this photograph that's depicted in 75C9, was there information associated with that photo which would allow you to be able to tell when the photo was captured?
Yes.
And what information is that, and can you relay that for us?
So, again, forensically, we often focus on the EXIF data, which is data about the data itself, not necessarily when that photo was placed on that device or that cloud. But here you can see that when the photo was taken, it captured a lot of information, lat and long being exactly where GPS put that photograph being taken, what model phone took it, and it looks like even it tells you which camera it would have taken it with, being the dual wide camera, which is typically seen on the back of a device, versus the selfie camera or the front facing camera that would face you.
And can this data, because it's been an iCloud backup, be something that came from a different device? When we saw Cellbrite, we saw a model number and an iPhone and those types of things. Can this be a different device just stored to the cloud?
It could simply be someone sent you the picture and it's stored on your device, but it just got backed up to the cloud even though another photo or another phone took the photo.
Can it be your device having taken the photo?
If you have multiple devices with the same account, cloud account, yes, it could all be backed up. But it could also be a photo taken with someone else's phone and then you've stored it or saved it on your device and it kept all that same EXIF information and also got backed up because now it's on your device that is being backed up.
If I have my same iCloud account from high school up till now,
Yeah.
Will every phone that I've used and backed up to that same iCloud account still be reflected? Those photos from older phones are still in my iCloud.
It's possible. That's a better question for Apple, how long that they store stuff for.
But you can have different devices that back up to the cloud.
Yes.
Is this a larger version of that photograph that was depicted in the last exhibit?
Yes.
Same exhibit, was there an image captured April 15th of 2023?
Yes.
And is that what's depicted here?
Yes.
In 75C10, can you tell us what it is that this is representative of?
These look like text messages between two devices.
So these look different than what we looked at from Cellbrite. We don't have the convenience of the blue and the green. How do you know that the messages are going back and forth? Is there something about their placement?
Yeah, so Axiom will place them typically right and left to try to make it look more like what you would see on the device. Sometimes there's colors that make it a little bit easier to see, which I don't see here. But you can also see received at the top where those ones are being received by that cloud account information, and it says unknown direction. So probably didn't parse, or it wasn't provided in the plist files or databases that were given.
But there is a number associated with the received by,
Yes.
and then the unknown direction, can that be from this person responding back to that received by?
Well, received from, I believe, is the top number. Like that was, they received that message from that number.
Yes, so if this text message is received from number ending
Right.
7534, is this the owner or user responding to 7534?
Correct. Often there isn't a number associated with the received by because the owner of the phone is simply the owner. It doesn't need to store its own number.
Are you able to tell me about the date and time from which I Don't Like the Town Center was received to this iCloud?
It shows April 10th of 2023 at 8:38 p.m.
Was there a response to that message?
Yes.
What was that?
You hate everywhere with an emoji. We don't gotta sit in.
Did the number ending in 7534 send a reply to that?
Yes.
And what was that?
23 got killed in the town center. That's why I'm like out there.
We still see the phone number that's provided for the person that's sending the messages to this iCloud,
Yes.
and we see their responses on the right from the person with this device.
Yes.
Lastly, was there an image from this iCloud account preserved April 22nd of 2024?
Yes.
And were you able to see that image in an enlarged fashion from the same extraction report?
Yes.
I believe that completes this particular extraction, Your Honor.
Okay, very good. All right, members of the jury, it's 12:20, so we're going to go ahead and take our lunch recess. We will reconvene at 1. You may proceed.
Your Honor. Detective Boris, I believe when we left off, we were on the extraction for Alicia Andrews, 03 at Yahoo. We're still familiar with that extraction report. In looking at State's Exhibit 75C12, are you able to tell me the difference between the two dates that we see as it relates to the first date stamp on the page versus the second?
It shows October 15th of 2023 at 11:02 p.m. and the last modified time being 5/15/2024 at 9:34 a.m.
And modified, as you've already described for us, can that mean copied, saved, updated?
It could just be a change to the picture. I'm not sure what the changes are. Viewing the thumbnails, it looks like it might just simply have been cropped, but I can't tell you for sure what the change was.
And the same as when we discussed the other thumbnail images, you would be able to access or enlarge the image from that date.
Yes.
Lastly, 75C15 from the same iCloud extraction.
Yes.
Is there some evidence that this is not a photograph and is instead a video?
Yes, if you look at the file name extension where it says file name, it says MOV, which is pretty indicative that it's a video file. But then again, as I explained earlier, Axiom takes frames from it. In this case, it took 10 frames from the video file and then put it to where you could see what the video potentially would have in it.
And just like as you did previously explain, are you able to then view each of the various screen grabs? You can watch the video as a whole, or you can actually look at it in parts.
Correct.
Now, as it relates to the extractions, or really any device, are you familiar with who the phones belong to, where the whose phones the extractions came from, the circumstances under which this information would have even been provided to you?
I know the information that Apple provides to me as far as what account it's associated with. As far as who's in control of that account or device, I do not.
You don't know the facts or circumstances surrounding the case?
I know the general facts of the case, but I don't know about the individual evidence items.